This is Unit 2, Lesson 1, Categorical versus Quantitative Data. You need your guided notes handout. Okay, so looking at those first definitions, categorical data and quantitative data, I want you to pause the video and just take a guess of what both of them are. So just jot down a random guess of what you think both of them are. Okay, and when you're done with that, I want you to copy down the definition. So the first definition is categorical data, which is data you get when you ask someone a question that they can answer in categories. Okay, so pause the video and write down that definition. And when you're finished with that, quantitative data is measurable data with units, data you can count. And we'll go over examples in just 1 second. So make sure you copy down those definitions. And maybe put a star next to the right definition. Okay, so moving down the handout, we're just going to go over some examples. So this is a very brief introduction to statistics, so just focusing on the data part. So I have the definitions right at the top. So looking at these definitions, we're going to go over some examples. So categorical data you get when you ask someone a question that they can answer in categories. So thinking about that, let's look at our examples. So we have height, favorite color, favorite animal, weight, and age. And we know quantitative data is measurable data you can count, and you have units. Okay, so looking at height, I'm going to use this green color with the quantitative data. And looking at height, so height would be in inches or feet or both. So we can measure that. Okay, so we're going to write a Q next to that because it's quantitative. And on your handout, I want you to write height and examples under quantitative data. Okay, and then looking at favorite color, can't really measure favorite color, we can't count it, so we're going to have that as categorical data, because answer that in categories, so red, blue, green, you get it. Okay, and then next one, favorite animal. Same thing with that one, you can't really measure your favorite animal. So that's going to be categorical because you would answer in, you know, cheetah, tiger, dog, cat, fish, everything like that. Okay, next one, weight. So weight we can measure, you know, in pounds or grams depending on what we're talking about. But we can measure that and count that, so that would be quantitative. And then for the last one, we're looking at age. So let's think about that one. And age, how would you answer age? So you'd answer with a number. It's not really categories, so you can count that. So that one would be quantitative. Okay, so make sure you have these examples on your guided notes handout. Okay, so for this one, I want you to try it on your own. You don't need to write this on your handout, but I want you to try it on your own before you look at the answer. So thinking of birth month, thinking about our definitions, what do you think, categorical or quantitative? So pause the video. And that answer is categorical, okay? It's because you would answer in January, February. You're not really measuring anything. It's just in categories. Okay, and then you try again for this one. So speed, think about your definitions, categories, or measuring. Okay, so try that on your own. And what we get is quantitative, because you measure speed, you can count the speed. Okay? And you don't need to write anything for these, but we'll mostly be working with quantitative data. because we're going to describe data, analyze data, and make predictions based on the data. And using categories, you can't really work with that much, so we're going to be using mostly quantitative. And here's just a preview. You probably did this last year, but we're just going to review dot plots, frequency tables, box plots, histograms, and then get into more detailed work. Okay?